I am back from BreyerWest in Denver and finally filming my intro. This year was totally different for me than last year. I signed up for the swap, the novice show, and I was enrolled in 2 of the amazing classes until my schedule changed, and I'll show you why. I've got some in-person first looks at BreyerFest models for this year. I've got a new haul of awesome models. Hang tight to be introduced to those models, and for now, BreyerWest. Last year, Utah was dry when I headed up, and it only got worrisome on I-80 in Wyoming. This year, Utah got hit with a massive snowstorm the day before I planned to leave, and it ended up closing one of the routes into Colorado, so I went a different way, which was fine until it got dark and the snow went from a flurry to a blizzard. Luckily, I made it okay, though I got to the hotel around 2 a.m. Friday when it was 3 degrees outside. BreyerWest was held at the same convention center during the same Rocky Mountain Horse Expo during the same last part of February as last year. This time, you didn't need a ticket to BreyerWest, just a ticket to the expo and parking. The first day consisted of Breyer's retail table, stablemate painting, and the open show, which went from 9 a.m. to 5:30 or so. I woke up a little later on Friday to go experience day 1. I am back at my hotel with loot from BreyerWest day 1. I grabbed a Tiz button, a pencil, and a BreyerFest flyer. And as far as purchase, I could not resist this little guy. He is so cute in person. I will get him out in just a minute. And I got this new guy. I saw an early peek of him posted on Breyer's website as like a staging photo with a little girl wearing a Misty shirt, and I caught it and saved the photo, and then it was later taken down, and then he came out, I don't know how many weeks or months even later, but really happy to see a new color on this mold. I'll get him out in just a minute too. Got a new little Arabian. I really like this mold too. That's from the new series. There's also one of the new mini winnies in this series. I really want that little magpie. I got my Chardonnay is in these bubbles. I will open him. I also got, I'm a volunteer on Saturday and I am so excited. If you come on Saturday to the Stablemates painting, come and say hi. I'll share all of my new models at the end of this video. Aside from opening the Mini Winnie, I left everyone else in their boxes because I decided I had to get back to work on the custom I brought for the Youth Novice Show, which is on Sunday. On day 2, Breyer artists Maggie, Jennifer, and Melanie were available in the Artist's Corner. The hobby table was set up for learning and questions with Joanne, and the workshop areas hosted an awesome variety of classes. Once the fest was done for the day, the swap meet was held at the host hotel. Stablemate painting went all day long, at least until the blanks ran out, which is where I spent my day. Tyler's been sticking googly eyes to everything. This year the swap meet had twice as much room as last year, but it felt a little more quiet. And from my experience and a couple sellers I spoke with, sales were a little bit slower. I didn't get to wander like I wanted, but I met up with Lauren Hofer to buy one model, which I'll share at the end. I really wanted to buy this little beauty from Lauren. It's such a lovely piece. It is 11 o'clock at night, and I just got up to my room after loading up the swap meet. I was a vendor, do have one model straight from Breyer. It is probably the most special model I've ever received in my whole life. I'm gonna get it out. I am so excited. I have never had a chance to volunteer before, so I've never had a chance to earn my own volunteer model. I have Thornycroft that I bought secondhand, but this is the first volunteer model that I've earned on my own and been given from Breyer. So I'm feeling really grateful. I'm really excited. There's 3 different colors. We only know 2 of the colors right now. The third one is coming later in the year. She'll be revealed at BreyerFest. So I either got a bay or a sun-faded black. I don't know which one. They give them to you all bundled up in these bubbles, and they're randomly assigned. Nobody is sure which color's which. So they gave her to me earlier, and I was like trembling. Like I didn't want to open her up and accidentally drop her, because I just was so, like, I don't know, overwhelmed maybe. So I'm gonna get her out. She came after the day. She came up to my hotel room to wait while I was at the swap meet vending. So, this is my first time, like, officially meeting her. I promise I will show her to you at the end of this video. The lighting here was really bad and I just had to get back to work on my custom. It's due tomorrow morning. Day 3 means BreyerWest is over. The stablemate painting tent was going on, the Mares in Black hosted the hobby Q&A, and Breyer artists Heather, Christine, Kristen, and Maggie were available to answer questions and share their work in the artist's corner. It's also the Youth Novice Show, which is where I spent my 3rd day. And if you saw anything about how showing went for me last year, I was really hoping it'd be different this time. I approached my show string much differently this year than last year. Both years stated that for Youth Novice, your lists don't have to be turned in early, so last year I didn't. I was still figuring things out and doing breed research in my hotel room. This year though, I did turn it in early. I took the class list and I tried to find a model to fit in each one. Youth Novice max is at 20 models total, so I couldn't show in every class, but I took 19 horses versus last year's 8. I planned on 2 customs but only finished 1. I managed to leave my class and string lists in the car, so big thank you to Alyssa for giving me an extra to frantically recreate my notes. I did sit through 9 back-to-back classes without collecting any placings, which is always hard. I took my Lonesome Glory again, but my guy didn't place. That's okay, he's still a winner. But this year I won 7 ribbons and reserve champion. I'm currently making an entirely separate video about that, so stay tuned. Thanks to Alyssa for the pictures and great company, and to this year's judges, Heather Jackson Lane, Jennifer Buxton, and Tiffany Purdy. I wanted to share some quick personal thoughts on model showing. I honestly don't know that much about breeds and genetics, and research for shows is really hard. This was only my 2nd show ever, so yes, I am very much a novice, which is who this show was for. And I definitely came to try to win some ribbons. But if it comes down to it, I'd much rather the kid won. Shows are so hard and you sit there forever, and it is so discouraging to go up to retrieve your model and there not be a ribbon. So yeah, let the kid place instead of me. Obviously, the judges don't know whose model is whose, and I am not the only grown-up in the room showing models. I just feel like I'm in this weird in-between gray space where I don't really fit in with Youth Novice, and I definitely don't have the experience or the models or the money to show and open. And it just got me to thinking how nice it would be to have a live adult novice show. Something with a shorter class list and a smaller model cap, and maybe it doesn't run as long. Maybe you still have to make everything yourself in the customs and performance divisions. And obviously the prizes wouldn't be as extravagant. I think it used to exist and people were taking advantage of this system, which is unfortunate. There's just nothing really around me that's local where I could show live. So I guess I'm feeling like I don't have access to any middle ground. I feel like I've done my thing in novice and I've learned some. And I suppose if you feel you've outgrown novice, or you'd rather let younger entrants win, you have to jump into open. So maybe next year I will try BreyerWest Open. Okay, back to the show. I didn't sleep much at all on this trip because of my room's proximity to the elevator and because I stayed up way too late to work on my custom. I also didn't eat much. I was feeling the pains of my chronic illness so hard by the time the youth novice show ended, I decided to head home. I checked out of my hotel early and missed the last of BreyerWest, including the stablemates painting contest and the general feeling of goodbyes. I heard more snow was headed for Utah and I really didn't want to drive in another blizzard, so off I went. I saw some turkeys. This year BreyerWest felt substantially more magical, and I can't really explain it. There was such a heartwarming sense of support during the novice show, not just for me, but for so many of those kids. And being able to help with the event as a volunteer was amazing. If you were one of the people that came up to me to say hello, thank you so much. I honestly don't know anybody in the hobby except like 2 people, so I'm usually wandering all alone, and I appreciate everyone that said hi. I also really want to give a big, heartfelt thank you to Erin for all her efforts in getting BreyerWest back up and running again, for coordinating and managing the show each year, and for giving me the opportunity to volunteer. I'm so grateful to have this event so close to home. Okay, Mini Winnie. This one is Jethro. Here is the new little Arabian. He's a nice black with rear sock and star. He's the 3rd regular run release on this mold and the 6th use overall since his initial release as Darley in the 2018 Stablemates Club. This drafter looks so good in blue roan, and this is only his 3rd realistic color and 5th use overall since his release in 2019. He's got almost a pearlescent finish in his paint, and his shading is really nicely done. His roaning speckles are small and tidy, and this mold has the most charming face. The new saddlebred is here. I was so excited to see this color released into the regular line after that accidental peek was caught online. This is only the 2nd realistic color for him after his first release as Mason, the 2018 Horse of the Year, when the mold was first issued. Since then he's had 3 decorator colors, but 5 releases in 5 years is all he's had. He's got a lot of his bright yellow showing through from the mane and tail masking, but for an inexpensive classic and a mold I really like, I'm still very happy. This is the model I bought from Lauren Hofer, who probably gave me a good deal on him, and I'm so grateful to have this guy. I'm in the Stablemates Club, but I did not get this color when he was sent as a Gambler's Choice as Atlee just last year, and it might be my favorite. His soft shading and color are all really well done. He's very pretty. I passed on Chardonnay during BreyerFest. I've really grown to love the flash mold, but I just couldn't bring myself to meet the expense of him as an LE. Glossy Chardonnay though? And this is coming from someone who only recently came around to glossies. He is stunning. The gloss makes his color so rich and bright. He's got lovely shading in his mane and tail, some hoof striping, and this neat white sock? Anklet pastern? It's very nice. His stockings are nicely done, little marks on his mouth, and all of this is to represent the real horse. His belly does say BreyerFest, and I know it couldn't be done, but wouldn't it be neat if he said BreyerWest? Here he is with his COA. He is one of 225 pieces. This is actually a prize model I won during the Youth Novice Show. I won it for the tack I made, and I'd never made tack before. I'm making a video about my custom and her tack, which I finished and showed on this trip. This is a Collector Club model, and at the release, a few people had some issues with flaws, so I'm going to open him up and check him out. It's Honey Bear, and mine doesn't look too bad actually. Cute chunky chestnut guy. I love the fuzzy edges of his pinto markings. He's got a cute face too and really nice eyes. And my volunteer model? I got the Bay. I admittedly was really drawn to the sun-faded black, but the fates have brought me a Bay, and she's meant to be mine, and she's lovely. She's called Chevalier, and Breyer hasn't told us where her name comes from, at least not that I could find. So it could be a French pronunciation, but I don't know. She's a lovely snow-capped Appaloosa with 4 little white socks and speckles throughout her color. Very pretty bay color and pretty brown eyes. I think she's stunning, and I am just thrilled. That is actually all for my 2023 BreyerWest Experience. Thank you so much for watching.